I bless up, one love, spiritual alignment to everything. This one's a little different only because it was heavy on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Different things in life, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes make it where you need to do something. And I promise you this, at this time of recording that I'm doing now, to y'all gonna see it in a couple weeks, but just to let y'all know, 100%, this is a raw recording. I just finished this script and this idea like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, let me just get it out because I feel like it's a need to, like, for once, just do it unscripted. I don't want, you know what I'm saying, no script to it. I just kind of want to let it be raw into what it is and just lead it. You know what I'm saying? This is battle of the sexes. Separation leads to attack, division, manipulation, and backdoored. And before I even start, I want to say I'm asking men, because I'm a man, to put your biases to the side first. And I'm asking women if they're willing to listen, do the same. Put your biases or bias to the side and really just listen for a minute. I first and foremost do a lot of these videos with thought. And it is always for men's mental health, but it's kind of developing into like this all mental health, you know what I'm saying, the way that we need to scale and keep God first. Really, it's always talking about God and finding mental health and the mental awareness to move forward. But it seems like, in my personal opinion, the more you do that, the more people think it's boring. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sitting here, I'm not here to diss women. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want to hear a man diss women, and a woman want to hear a woman diss men. So we fell for this separation tactic, and, you know what I'm saying, I think, let me oppose that and really have a discussion on which I think the problem is, and I think we just fell for it. With that being said, like, subscribe, share, follow, comment below where you from, and this, I'm asking you just to take a little bit of time and just to honestly listen. You know what I'm saying? If you smoke, get you something to smoke. If you drink, whatever gets you to sit here and just listen for a moment. It's imperative, and sometimes we need to have these talks. You see what I'm saying? I think we get so fast in this world that we quick to sit down for bullshit, but we never want to sit down for real talk or something that has substance. I think that's the fucking problem. And I'm sorry that I'm using vulgar language, but I'm trying to get your attention. I've been trying to get y'all's attention to really understand some shit, because nobody cares about something with substance. I don't need to diss a woman to make my point get across. A woman shouldn't need to diss a man to get her point across. And we talking these kind of talks. We should be able to have an articulate conversation and make sure that we respectful to one another to get a point across. But for some reason, that's not what society wants, and we fell for this dumb shit. I'm going to get back to using not so many cuss words because I don't like doing that. Because I don't like to lead and call Ja as my lead and do all this vulgar language. I try not to do that. My vocabulary is way more expanded than just using cuss words. I can speak proper, and I can speak colloquially. So it just depends on whatever needs to be bounced. But we back into it. Ghetto Rasta Locks, welcome. So let's get into this battle of the sexes. Separation leads to attack. Division, manipulation, and backdoor. Okay? Division. The system stopped us from unity. Babylon has us fighting each other all day, and we fell for it. So what I mean by that is, I'm gonna try to stay on substance. I gotta ramble. But division of what I mean Babylon, that means government, anybody over pressing you or under pressing you, depending on how the world takes it. We say don't oppress me, but a lot of Rastafarians say don't over oppress me because you're not over me. We're all equal, so don't you over oppress me. But with them oppressing us or over oppressing us, we fell for this trap again of like the welfare system, and these are different ways that they created this division of us to attack the family or attack unity or attack structure of some type of unity of us walking in an alignment and trying to find an understanding or overstanding within each other to keep fighting together. And now we're too busy fighting at each other and no longer are we talking. We're just trying to, you know what I'm saying, what we think is make a point to make the other one sound invalid or not even heard. So, you know what I'm saying, we get with a group that sounds possibly the loudest, possibly what we think is a bigger point at a time, and neither one of us really have a point. We just come in from what we think is our personal experiences, and then we're attacking the world or a gender or a sex or a race, and then that's the way we're leading. And again, this world don't really care. They manipulated us to fall for these things while they make their money. Now, don't get me wrong. We got people who's ignorant who believe in these things, these ignorances. But for the typical person that I typically run into who try to make a day-to-day, we're just trying to get by. And not many people really understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The average person just like, here, let me, you know what I'm saying, try to get by and do the right thing. And I had to wear my crown down for this just because I thought it was imperative. So my wires to Jah was, you know what I'm saying, helping me lead. So I didn't want to tangle it or nothing, so just letting it hang. These boys are beautiful. Thank you, Jah. But with that being said, we fell for this division. And we no longer are walking this unity of love within each other. So if we're divided, what does that lead to? Second segment, manipulation. So with manipulation, I got short bullet points. With manipulation, we argue. We try to prove who was hurt more, who carries the more weight, who's the more lays, who carries, you know what I'm saying, everybody wants to be the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody loves the label of the underdog, but really nobody wants the underdog responsibilities. Let's be honest. The underdog gonna carry some type of weight. Well, really, we're all, in a way, the underdog. Babylon is pushing us all the weight, but because we're separating each other and attacking each other, we're pushing weight to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we're on a, I forget what it's called right now. When you get on the seesaw, you get on the seesaw, and you know what I'm saying? Like if you get two people to be able to balance, y'all can stay aligned. Or just a little tip the scales here and there. But we're trying to, you know what I'm saying, make sure the other person is, you know what I'm saying, carrying the more weight. And it's crazy. And what that manipulation is doing is causing so much friction that we don't talk. And we are never going to find this way of sitting down and be like, hey, what do you have to say? What is going on? Our fight really ain't within each other. You know what I'm saying? We're falling for these platforms that is, like I said, I learned about red pill content. And red pill content, I don't like y'all red pill content creators. Y'all wrong, y'all wrong, y'all wrong. Men and women who do these, because it looks different, but they're both the same. Red pill content is considered what they can say is pandering. Also, so red pill / pandering content is content gearing towards a separation and how super masculine men get women. And it's only because right now the lead of everything is because it's getting the most views. So they want overly masculine men saying, yeah, you a punk if you not super beefed up. And if you're not saying like, yeah, I'm super, give her a whole bunch of money. That's what a woman wants. And that's the pandering content. And then the red pill content within that is the women who standing with it. And it's like, yeah, that's a man. And then, so now men feel when we're trying to reach that level of, hey, every man wants to be able to be like, hey, baby, don't worry about nothing. I got you. Trust me. Every man wish they could do that. We can't. It's not the way society has been set up by Babylon. Babylon needs to stay at the top for them, ignorant bastards. But, and it needs us to fight. So we don't watch what they're doing. So for the man who, you know what I'm saying, thinking that we're trying to do this, and the man who like do this and that the third, a lot of them ain't really doing what they saying they is behind back door. I mean, I said back doors, closed doors. So a lot of these men who like give her a whole bunch of money, a lot of them was beating women. A lot of them was cheating on women. You know You know what I'm saying? Left and right, but you know what I'm saying? And I can't say I was perfect in none of those contexts. I've messed up many times. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to become a better man now. I never put my hand on no woman. You know what I'm saying? I don't beat women, none of those things, but I've done wrong, definitely. And I just want to be a better person today than I was yesterday. That's always my lead. And I'm always sorry for the wrong that I've caused. You know what I'm saying? I take that into heart and I say that out words all the time. You know what I'm saying? I really do. You know what I'm saying? This ain't my place where I'm gonna do this on the net, so I'm not doing that. But I will say that I fell short of in some places where a man, a husband, a father could have stood a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And the same vice versa, because ain't nobody perfect. You know what I mean? Like, anybody acting like we're perfect, you're not God. We're not God. We're not Jah. We're not that entity. We're not that source. So if you disagree with that part, then you might need to take a look in the mirror and really pray. And this is talking to the world. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. You know what I'm saying? So, but once we can admit within ourselves different things and being like, hey, how can I get better within myself? And then we look outwards to be like, okay, how can we build? You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X, when he believed, hopefully I'm quoting it right, because right now I'm just talking and I overthink. But when Elijah Muhammad was like, yo, division is the way, and then he went to Mecca and came back, he was like, I learned division is not the way. But we have a problem within ourselves before we ask to have y'all fix the problem too as well. Is my favorite version of Malcolm X. Why I don't idolize, but why I can respect the image and of that he was respected. This man was not violent. He was none of those things. They made up the connotation that we fell for. It was like, hey, because he said he's willing to strike somebody who strikes him, he's violent. Actually, it was a lot of things that he was like, no, we're not going to fight. We're going to calm down and we're going to do this peacefully. You know what I'm saying? It was plenty of times he could have turned up, but he calmed down the section like, this ain't the time to go left. We're going to go this way. He was just letting them know, like, be careful on pushing this crowd, because when it goes there, you don't know whenever that light switch is going to go off, okay? This leads into our third segment. With that, I say the back door. The back door comes from them dividing us and the manipulation. So once they divide us and we're too busy going at it with each other, they can manipulate a message. And then they sit back. Now, while they sit back, really, they working and they planning. So while they working and they planning, that's where they come up with these laws, these policies, these different information. And, you know what I'm saying, they teach our kids false history and take out real history. They give a different connotation to science, political views, and these different things that we think is possibly like undercurrents and things like that. They can manipulate it. I think we all can agree with that. That we know not to trust Babylon, the government. I think we can agree with that. We all know that they hide behind things. We all know, again, that the 13th Amendment was a different way of cheap labor, basically another form of slavery. We could agree with that. It's been proven. We also know that it was a company named Alex, which politicians and companies sat together and they came up with laws. And they was caught still with the Alex label and posted on the Alex website. Verbatim, almost perfectly similar about how they was going to construct these laws of stuff like stand your ground, which keeps us separated in different connotations. I said different, but different connotations, and we fell for these things. The masses is to keep us separated, to manipulate us, and to think that another problem is the problem, and we fall for the problem, and we too busy fighting each other, while really they standing back collecting money and laughing at us. So they making their pockets richer and faking all these things. I don't care what nobody says. Really understand, inflation is an illusion. Y'all want to say all these things like, no, this leads to this leads to that. It does not. It's a whole bunch of greedy people who saying, let's make these things up so we can make more money and make them struggle more. Because if that was the case, they would make sure that our pay equal to, you know what I'm saying, the inflation. But they ain't. Because they need us to struggle so they can make their money. They want to separate us from them. Why is there a 1% y'all? Wake up. Understand, waking up, when they say woke, that's not waking up. Wake up, they teach you how to be woke, y'all. And we fall for this. So, battle of the sexes, again, we have to find God within these things. I say all that to say this, division. Understand, that's not God, Jah's way. God created us, Jah created us to stand in line. When they separate us, we fell for it. We no longer is looking to God, Jah, to guide us, to keep the unity of the family or the structure together. They soon manipulated us how to fight. They teach us how to think. And then we soon forget to look to Jah for questioning and opposing what they're possibly doing. So if we're too busy looking this way, and we think, and they even teach us how to look to God. I got a guy I work with who isn't even, you know what I'm saying, from here. And I mean that with the utmost respect. But I'm like, I personally ask him questions. I'm like, this ain't to diss nobody, but just hear me out. I'm like, so this image-wise, respectfully, you're Christian. You're from way overseas where naturally that's not your thing. You know what I'm saying? Naturally that's not what his culture believed. And I have to almost respect, that's a brother to me. I love him. But with that being said, I'm like, what does Jesus look like to you? And it was a white man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the same one that we taught that Jesus is. And I'm not debating, and I'm not using this platform to go there because this is not about arguing. But what my point is this image that we're taught to believe, and the fact that, ironically, already, if you're already opposing me, you're already closing your mind. My point is, if this was possibly in the Middle East, possibly, why is everything still opposed to one pigment? Why is everything that we say is pure of one pigment typically? You see what I'm saying? So, and we're taught this massive thing of a separation and a division, and we fall for it. Then we like, nope, that's my country, this is my way, this is it. And we fall for it. We don't oppose nothing. We never oppose, like, hold up, why does this make sense? Let me look into this. Are y'all trying to keep us separate? Am I supposed to really be talking to her and trying to really understand what she possibly think? Is this something that we really need to be fighting over? Is this something that we can talk about later and really it's not that big? And we can look still and be like, we catch y'all what y'all doing. So really they backdoored us and we forgot to keep God first. We no longer keep God first. We go to church and church is popular. It's a popular contest. It's like the club in a lot of places. I'm not saying all. I'm not trying to disrespect any family. I got a lot of family to go to church. I myself don't find church in the building. I'm Rastafarian. When I speak to y'all, this is me having my sermon with y'all and y'all having y'all sermons with me when y'all comment. And that's why I appreciate for people to comment. Like, please comment so I can continue to have sermon and I answer with spirituality. And I'm trying to listen with an open ear. So again, division is made by them. Keep us divided from sexes. We not looking. Manipulation is teaching us how to fight while they doing their plan. Backdoored us with the whole thing, and it fails for the next generation. So no longer is God, no matter what name you put to it, no longer is our spiritual compass intact. We lost our spiritual compass. We have to find our spiritual compass. And I say this with all love. Hopefully people ain't click off. Hopefully this makes sense, because I'm not saying this towards men and women. I'm saying this towards Babylon if you're really listening. I'm saying we need God to guide us again. I'm saying that we have to have a talk and we have to pray. Not many of y'all pray. I know that for a fact. I probably pray more than the average person who would think that they're praying. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you, quote unquote, a bazillion things and, you know what I'm saying, writing up the Bible. I'll be lying if I said that. But I know what my spirit is, and I do pray all the time. I mean, all the time. Several times a day. I wouldn't even play like that because karma comes back quick. You don't play with God. You don't play with Jah. You don't play with them entities. I pray several times a day. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Having conversations, just wondering what life is and how to become a better person in the scope of things. And the one thing that I see right now is this battle of the sexes is weird. It's really weird. Anytime you click on anything, it's man opposing women, women opposing men, and the other need to get it together and understand the other person. And that is a degree that we have to have. But it's done with so much, we're right and you're wrong, that we don't talk. Why can't we have a conversation and be like, you know what? We had 15, 20 minutes on the thing, and how about this? We hug it out. We say we love each other. We have a meal. And then we just start looking to Babylon and oppose those who got all the money and they're using their power for wrongdoing, and put their feet to the fire because they're not doing good with God's blessing. I'll leave y'all with that. I thank y'all for listening and kind of just rocking with a person, Rasta family. This is a one thing segment. Again, I recorded this within 5 minutes of completing it. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I just felt like I needed to let the spirit talk. And hopefully it did something. Hopefully. You know what I'm saying? I let the wires and the antenna touch the earth. So hopefully this was, you know what I'm saying, anointed through Jah, and he just used my body as a vessel just to push it out and just to kind of get the message across. Wake up. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and always remember, it's always one love, and one love is all love. We bless up. We don't say amen, because amen is to praise man. We don't praise man. We don't idol worship. So we bless up, because the higher entity of Jah, God, is the light. And there's always peace. And there's always spiritual alignment. Let's go.